Hello students, welcome to the April SMOB monthly message. Today, I will give a recap of the March 19th board meeting, which lasted until 10 p.m. because we discussed a lot of important topics, ranging from the homework policy to financial literacy in schools. To start, the board discussed the opening of Crown and Woodward High School. For context, Woodward and Crown High School are two new high schools MCPS is planning to open in 2027 to address overcrowding at many of our schools. Starting next year, Woodward High School, which has already been almost fully constructed, will serve as a temporary 3-year holding school for the current Northwood High School students as their school gets rebuilt. At the board meeting, the board voted on the proposal to begin construction of Crown High School and open Woodward High School for Northwood students without auditoriums. This decision was made as, due to a lack of funds, MCPS could not afford to open both schools with a fully constructed auditorium in 2027 without delaying some parts of the construction. Since each one of the auditoriums costs around $20 to $22 million to build, the board voted to temporarily not have auditoriums in Woodward and Crown for next year as we begin/continue construction. However, in the 3 years between now and when the schools open in 2027, we will be trying to get the funds to construct those auditoriums. In the meantime, we are creating plans for how students who may need the auditorium can still have access to other spaces in or outside the school, and we are holding community discussion around this topic. Moving on, the board also discussed its new plan and current work around combating hate and bias in our schools. They mentioned a lot of new strategies to address increasing acts of hate in schools, such as a new tiered response system to address different types of incidents, a social media anti-hate bias campaign, enhanced training for staff and administrators around hate and bias incidents, and much, much more. At the meeting, I emphasized the importance of student input on the process, and I'm excited to announce that an anti-hate bias campaign video that was put together solely by students will be available for you all to watch this month. Next, the board discussed the homework policy, where I advocated for a lot of changes that students want to see. Last month, changes I suggested, such as altering the purpose of homework from being rigorous to meaningful and ensuring students are given time in class to complete homework, were all reflected in the new policy draft. At the March 19th board meeting, I gave a few more suggestions to the policy, with the most important one being to urge teachers not to give students homework over the weekend, as long as it does not delay classroom instruction. Therefore, just as I promised students last year, I am fighting for homework-free weekends. Currently, the policy is out for public comment on the MCPS website, so I urge all of you to please give input on the policy between now and April 24th when the comment period will close. After that, the board will take final action on the policy in May, meaning we will have a new homework policy for the first time since 1986. The final important topic that the board discussed was financial literacy in schools. Specifically, we talked about whether we should require a financial literacy credit as a graduation requirement for students. The recommendation from MCPS was that we make it a requirement starting all the way with the class of 2031, which would be high school freshman students in the year 2027. At the end of the meeting, a board member introduced a resolution reiterating the importance of offering students multiple different options to satisfy the graduation requirement for financial literacy if it is made a requirement in the future. Wow, that was a lot of information for one board meeting. No wonder it ended at 10 p.m. Anyways, aside from that meeting, I'm currently still working on creating wellness days in MCPS, getting signs to promote new school lunch menu items in cafeterias this month, and of course, conducting even more school visits in April. So with that, thanks so much for watching and staying engaged. I look forward to April and fighting for even more change across MCPS. Goodbye, everybody.